Welcome to Parallel Universe. He wasn't the kind of man who made grand speeches or demanded the spotlight. He was the kind of man who showed up, did the work with everything he had, and let the performance speak for itself. But the final message Bobby J. Brown left behind, in the last moments of his life and in the words of the people who loved him, has left an entire community of fans, colleagues, and strangers completely unable to hold it together. Bobby J. Brown built his career the way most working actors do, brick by brick, roll by roll, never waiting for permission. A Golden Gloves boxing champion in his younger years, he carried that fighter's discipline into everything he touched. He appeared in The Wire, Law and Order SVU, We Own This City, Homicide: Life on the Street, and Veep across a career spanning decades. He also directed 2 films, a Parliament Funkadelic documentary and a documentary on pit bulls, proving that his creative instincts ran considerably deeper than any single role ever revealed. His agent described him simply as a man's man with a gentle soul. The people who knew him best said that got it exactly right. On the night of February 24, 2026, Bobby J. Brown entered a barn at his home in Chaptico, Maryland, a quiet rural community, to jump-start a vehicle. Something went wrong. The barn caught fire. In what his family describes as his final act of pure instinct, he called a family member and asked for a fire extinguisher. By the time they reached him, the barn was already fully engulfed in flames. His wife Arlene suffered severe burns attempting to reach him inside. Bobby J. Brown was pronounced dead at the scene. He was 62 years old. The medical examiner ruled his death an accident caused by smoke inhalation. His daughter Raina confirmed that the family believes he did not suffer, that the smoke took him before the fire could. That single detail, painful as it is, offered his loved ones the only comfort available in an otherwise incomprehensible moment. And here is what his final message actually was, not words written in advance, not a carefully prepared statement, but something revealed in the hours and days after his passing by the people who knew him best. His daughter shared that her father was a devoted Jehovah's Witness whose faith was the foundation of absolutely everything he did. His agent said he brought unmistakable authenticity to every role he ever played. His Wire colleagues remembered a man who understood that the smallest parts in a great story are only small if the person playing them decides they are. Bobby J. Brown never decided that. Not once. In 12 episodes across 4 seasons of one of the greatest television series ever made, including the series finale, he showed up with the full weight of his talent and his character every single time. The Wire taught the world that the people who keep a city running, the quiet ones, the overlooked ones, the ones without grand titles or dramatic arcs, are often the ones who matter most. Bobby J. Brown understood that assignment more deeply than almost anyone. He lived it on screen and he lived it off it. A devoted husband whose wife ran into a burning barn trying to save him. A father whose daughter spoke about him with a love so raw and immediate it stopped people cold. A believer whose faith held steady through everything. Bobby J. Brown's final message was not spoken. It was lived, in every role he committed to completely, every person he showed up for without hesitation, and in a wife who ran toward fire because walking away from him was simply not something she was capable of doing. That is not a small life. That is an extraordinary one. And it deserved far more time than it got.